I would like to call the August 1st, 2022 meeting of the Lee County Regional Planning Commission to order. In the absence of Judge Beckman, I will be acting as the chair this evening. Alice, please call the roll.
Charles Beckman, not present. Ellen Smith.
Here.
Ben Forster.
Here.
Emily Pratt, not present. Reed Acree.
Here.
The next order of business is approval of the minutes from the March 7th, 2022 meeting. If there are no changes or corrections, let's see. Does anyone have any comments?
No.
If there are no changes or corrections, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So move. Second.
Okay, call for a vote. All who approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, it passes. The next order of business is comments from the visitors section. If there is anyone here who would like to make a comment on anything not found on the agenda. Yep. No? There is no old business. Under the new business is petition number 22-PC-67, a petition for text amendment to adopt an ordinance regulating the development of private pipelines.
Okay, just I wanted to give a little background. Tonight's public hearing is going to be solely on the proposed private pipeline ordinance. Initially, it was all three, the pipeline, solar, and wind were going to be up tonight. However, on July 21st, at the county board meeting, they moved to send both the proposed wind and the proposed solar ordinances back to the Renewable Energy Committee for further review. And that next meeting will take place on August 8th at 9 a.m. and is open to the public. Next, I'd like to discuss the process for tonight's hearing. For the committee in order to amend our code, we are required to have a public hearing. So the purpose of tonight's hearing is to provide the public an opportunity to weigh in on the proposed changes to the Lee County Code. At the end of this hearing, I would be asking the commission to make a motion to send the petition back to the county board with the comments of the public. Once we've concluded that portion, I would like to open up discussion of the proposed ordinance by this board so that we can also send your comments to the board as part of the minutes. And for the public attending tonight, each person will be given 10 uninterrupted minutes to speak. I will have a timer here on my phone, so you will be able to hear it go off after your 10 minutes is up. You do not have to use the full time. And we do have a mic set up here in front for the public to use.
Is there anyone who would like to speak? Yes, ma'am. Does she need to be sworn in or?
No swearing in. They're not under oath. They're not subject to cross-examination. They're allowed to state their opinion, facts, anything at this point.
Thank you.
I'm Danelle Burrs. I'm with the Lee County Farm Bureau. We have taken a look at the proposed ordinance and have some suggestions that we would like to offer, specifically in regards to the language related to the Ag Impact Mitigation Agreement and various areas that could come into play into the ordinance. First, in B, under definitions, under the Ag Impact Mitigation Agreement, a minor correction. An Ag Impact Mitigation Agreement is negotiated between the Illinois Department of Agriculture and the company, and not with the landowner and the company. So this is between IDOA and the company. So we would like to see that corrected. On point 18, I guess maybe this is a clarification. The definition refers to WECS project, And was thinking that should be revised just to say pipeline owner. For just the general.
Where are
ordinance.
you?
Which one was that?
On section B under 18.
That's already been amended.
Oh, that was amended. Oh, then I was looking at an older one. Sorry.
Sorry, I thought I had sent you the most recent one.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I could have printed an older one. Sorry. Okay. On section C, there's no legal requirement for companies constructing private pipelines to sign an AIMA. AIMA is the AIMA abbreviation, short for Ag Impact Mitigation Agreement. So we are proposing suggested language to create this requirement so that it would be required as part of the ordinance. So under prohibition, a copy of the Agricultural Impact Mitigation Agreement executed between the owner operator of the pipeline and the Illinois Department of Agriculture as required by paragraph 2 of section D. So adding in a requirement for them to do the AIMA, because currently in regulations, that's not a requirement for a pipeline, but we would like to see it done as so. Still section C under B on drainage. We really like the language for the drainage and we would like to see that stay in place, but would like to see if applicable removed so that it becomes a requirement instead of a suggestion. Under D, design standards. As I stated earlier, there's no legal requirement for the owner and operator to sign an AIMA. So we would like to see compliance with the AIMA as it included in language. The owner and operator shall execute the AIMA with the Illinois Department of Agriculture, and the AIMA shall be minimum standards applied to all construction activities.
I'm sorry, where was
Sorry.
that?
Sorry. Under D, design standards, point 2.
Later on. No way.
Sorry, these are just like.
You're working on the one that was on the county website.
Printed it, I was working on it.
That one is the most. Probably working off the first
I
one.
printed it, the one that was sitting on my desk that I was working on. I would into a shorter one, but essentially we would just, I mean, I can email you what I've got written down,
Yes.
but we would like to just see the AIMA folded within, and we would like to see the AIMA put as minimum required standards, you know, and so that's like the bare minimum, but obviously they can go above and beyond, or we could, it could be negotiated that they would go above and beyond the requirements of the AIMA. Same under drainage as well, that would be the minimum required standards, but yet compliance with the AIMA would be required as part of the ordinance. And then under decommissioning, there's no decommissioning plan requirement as part of the AIMA. So that's not a part of the language of pipeline language for the AIMA. So just wanted to make sure that that was not a part of that. And that's what we have. So mainly just making sure the priority, I guess, would be to making sure that the ordinance creates the requirement to abide by the Ag Impact Mitigation Agreement and just creates that as the minimum set of standards and allows room for negotiation for a stricter set if that is the negotiation that takes place between the company and the landowner.
Okay, Yes, if you can provide me your copy,
Yep.
I'll present it to the Renewable Energy Committee on Monday. Will you be attending?
I believe so.
Okay. I will also touch base with you to further discuss what these EMA issues with the ordinance, because that
Okay.
is something we're trying to work out. So,
Perfect.
all right, thank you.
Thanks.
Would anyone else like to comment or speak? So
So if there are no other comments from any other members of the public present, and you would move on to how you're going to proceed. I would ask that the board send this back to the county board with the comments from the public, because that is the goal of this hearing. And then once you do that, then we can proceed and discuss the comments by this board separately.
I move,
should we do that?
we should do that. So I move that we send the comments from the public back to the county board for consideration.
Can I second it?
Not sure.
Probably cleaner that way.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you.
Should we vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and so now we should discuss the text amendment.
Yep, you guys can now weigh in on if you guys, I would imagine you all had a chance to review it. Did anyone have any questions, comments, concerns with this ordinance moving forward?
I honestly wasn't clear on exactly what we were being asked to decide.
So this is how this came about is we have a proposed biogas facility coming in over in the Amboy area. As part of that, they would need a private pipeline so that they can send their product from their biogas facility and ship it to the Kinder Morgan interconnect approximately in the Dutch Road area. So we currently have nothing in our ordinance that covers pipelines. And some of them we have no control over. Eminent domain comes into play and we don't really have any say in those. So what this ordinance is supposed to cover is any of the smaller private pipelines where eminent domain does not apply, so that we can make sure that they are being cautious of the farmland and whatnot when they come into the county. Dave Anderson has weighed in and given his input. He's the county engineer. So he's given us lots of suggestions for what to include on this. And we've worked with Chastain and Associates to come up with the rest of it. So this is what we are proposing to the board. And we just didn't know if you guys had any comments on it.
It sounds like you've already consulted with all of the experts, and so I think that we should go with what they say. Does anyone else have comments, questions, suggestions?
And probably just do that under the consideration of what the public's concerns are too at the county meeting.
So what's our next move?
If there is nothing else to discuss, then you can entertain a motion to dismiss or adjourn.
Adjourn?
There is no other business on the agenda this evening.
Would anyone like to move that we adjourn?
I'll move that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Okay, meeting adjourned.